All right, Kenman here, and it's shipwreck time once again. It's been a while. We're back. It's one of my favorite things. What is a shipwreck? If you don't know, you take a piece of copper or brass, put it in a container, add some chemicals, let them naturally patina and create all these cool shapes, colors, splotchiness, excitement. Let's go! This is a Rough Rider Apta. This is some copper right here. You can see all the neat different variants of color and things you can get. This is another Apta. This one's in brass, has some texture to it that kind of hides some of the patina, but still looks cool. Got a QSP penguin right here. Lots of fun stuff. Here's a little Rough Rider. I've done one. I didn't add a lot of salt to this, a lot less blue. I've done several of these. Probably do more blue on this one here. We got one from SCKnifeMonkey. Interesting little folder. We're going to do something up for him with that. And then we have this pen. Nice little pen that I found once a while back. Just an inexpensive little brass pen, so we're going to try that as well. This is going to be fun. If you haven't sat in on a shipwreck, get some popcorn, get yourself a drink, get comfy, and here we go. So I'm going to get these already pre-shipwrecked or examples, finished stuff. We don't cut here, we don't edit, we're live, whatever happens, happens. We're having some fun. Okay, so here's our items of use. What I am going to do is prep a container. So what we'll first do is we'll put all of these aside. And I have this little Tupperware container, and we are going to get prepping. Okay, so you're going to seal it in here because the chemicals are strong. First thing I did is I wadded up a bunch of paper towels. So we've got all these little paper towel balls. What this is going to be is a bed for the ammonia to sit in. The ammonia is the main active ingredient in this process, and it's going to make vapors and things in there. It's going to mix with the other stuff we put in there, and that's going to do its thing. These paper towel wadded up balls basically are going to create a surface, and so you can see that surface now has a texture to it. So rather than just a chunk sitting on a flat piece and then all the chemicals are just sitting there on that, it's going to be touching in little teeny smaller spots in different areas, and it'll be applied differently, which is what is going to give us this variance and variety and cool. Variance and variety? Sure. Two variations of the same word. All right, so got all of the balls in here. We are making a little bed. So we are going to now pour the ammonia over the top of this. I have some basic ammonia. Do not breathe this in. Do it in a well-ventilated area and be cautious because ammonia is strong. You stick your nose in there and woo, get a whiff. Might knock you to the floor. Seal this up right away. I just finished that container. I gotta grab another one. Wipe that down, keep our surfaces clean. So what I'm gonna do now is do I need to time lapse this? Yeah, I'm gonna prep these. So I'm gonna kind of tape some stuff off, take the pen apart. So I'm gonna do that kind of under a high-speed time lapse, and we'll get ready, get to the next step, start adding the things and getting them in here. All right, away we go. Okay, what I did is I taped off these blades. The chemical reaction actually only will happen on copper or brass, so it's not going to affect the blade, but I find it just easier. You're not getting them wet, a little bit less mess, and made me easier to clean up. The pen, I took the pen parts out. Basically, there will be some moisture on here. There is a hole in the end. And so I just figured I would take the pen parts out. I'm going to keep this screwed shut because I don't want it to get on the threads and corrode the threads potentially. I want the cap to be able to screw back on, so I'm going to do it just as is. tried to line it up so it's nice and smooth. So those are now prepped and ready. We have our container full of the ammonia and the paper towels. I am going to add a little more ammonia. It's kind of soaked up. I kind of usually add enough so I can kind of see that it's pooled up on the bottom just a little bit. You want everything wet, but it's really, a lot of it is the vapor. You're getting a lot of the vapors that are going to go up and roll around trapped inside of here. That's what's going to do a lot of the work. This container is not very big. Is this going to work? I might actually need to put that blade like that so I can get that in here. I'm actually going to do that for both. This is a lock, so it's just a little bit easier to get this all in there. And I think if I go boom, boom, and then the pen across the center, that'll probably be the best move. Okay, so I have some Himalayan salt. I have some standard table salt. I have some vinegar, some ammonia. I've got some soy sauce, which also is a kind of a salt-based sauce. I have some coffee grounds. I've been doing some different experimenting, coming up with some different variants on the way that the chemicals sit on the parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the soy sauce and kind of pour it into a couple spots there. I'm going to do, okay, so this already has the ammonia in it. So I have some ammonia here. I don't really need to pour any more of that now, but I'm going to pour a little bit of this vinegar in a couple of spots. Just a little bit. Take some of these dry coffee grounds and kind of sprinkle that around. It doesn't have to be even at all. And maybe a little salt. And a little bit of the rock salt. Salt is definitely going to add to the blues. So if you want more blue, more salt generally is going to help. You could go just ammonia and salt in here and you would get a potential successful. There's some I've done several times. You can be happy with the way it looks, or maybe it's just not the right what you want. All right, so here we go. So let's see, I'm going to put the pen in last maybe because I can get these situated around it. So this one from SCKnifeMonkey already has some patina on it. You can see it's been used. It's got some spots and textures, or not real textures, but color variants to it. I was considering cleaning that up, but I think we're going to go with that and let that naturally start. So I'm going to take a Q-tip here, and I'm actually going to get some ammonia on there, as much as or as little as you want. Okay, I'm going to take the other side, little vinegar. Again, same kind of situation, more or less. It's kind of up to you. And you never know, it's kind of an experiment. Soy sauce does have salt in it, so it's going to act kind of like the salt does, but at the same time, it's kind of watered down or diluted, I guess is a better word, since it's not just pure salt. It's actually salt mixed with whatever, you know, in the soy sauce. So I don't know, I think it's kind of a fun variant. The coffee also kind of can act as a resist, I think, because it's preventing other chemicals to sit on it. We'll get in here with some salt. Boom. Little rock salt. Is all this necessary? Maybe, maybe not. See how some of it sticks? Get it in there. Choose your path to adventure. And I am going to put this, all right, we're going to pick up a couple, move them around, lay that there, and then semi-bury it with some of these paper towels so that they're touching both sides. All right, now repeat. Maybe we'll go heavy on the soy sauce this time, because why not? I don't know. I don't think I've ever really gone soy heavy, so it's always fun to try. Little vinegar in a couple of spots. Maybe let it mix with the soy on there. Ammonia. Boom, 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 boom. Or you could just stir it all together. You never know what will happen. Some people will get painterly. I've done some research on this technique of patinaing copper, and some people will do this painterly thing where they'll let it sit for several hours, and then they go in with a brush and move it around, actually kind of paint the stuff on there more, and then let it sit some more and repeat. And that can also come up with some interesting potential. See if I can get a couple small pieces of the rock salt to stick right on there. Very good. Now you can see where it was at when we started and what it'll look like when we're all finished up later. So I'm gonna do that same thing, grab a couple of these, shift them around a little, get this in right there, and then cover it up with a few of these like so. And who's having fun? Anybody in the comment below? Have you done a shipwreck before? How successful was it? Did you have fun? Did you redo it? What have you used as far as chemicals that I haven't used? Comment below. Tell us your story. Alright, little soy, long streaks on this because I guess I sort of know what I'm doing, but it's only because I've experimented. Do I know how this is going to look when it's done? No. I mean, I kind of have an idea, but it's kind of one of those things where you just got to just go for it, let things happen, let them evolve in the way that they do, and then see what you get, you know. I dig it. It's a fun process. I don't know if I'm going to get many of these to stick on here. A couple of them. All right. In that goes. I am going to make a couple more little pieces of paper towel here. Although that's going to be kind of weird. Let's just go. We'll just drop that into that ammonia there. I need to steal this. Get it in front of me. All right. Set that right there. I'm not going to let that one soak in as much. That really created a completely waterlogged piece. You just kind of have to touch it. It's better to pour it all on there beforehand. Make sure I wash my hands really good after too, now that I've got ammonia and stuff all over them. All right, but the trick is to kind of give yourself some variety. The paper towels create these different heights and pressure against it and spots. A couple pieces of salt on there. We'll set that right on there like that. And I'm going to get one more here. Vinegar on that for funsies. Okay. And just like that, we've got stuff in and going. I have barely any ammonia in here. I'm just going to drop that down on the bottom. I have a lot of vinegar, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. Soy sauce, maybe throw a little dot or two on there for fun. Boom. All right, we are good. We've got them all in. I am now going to seal this up, and we're going to let it sit for at least 12 hours, maybe even 24 or more. I can kind of pop it open and we can kind of peek, but we don't want to move around stuff too much. We want to basically just let it sit and do its thing. So we will come back in at least 12 hours and take a check and see where we are. All right. It has officially been about 24 hours. I didn't peek. I've been busy. Just let it rip. Funny thing too, I went to go set it over there and dropped it and it rolled around, which then changed pretty much everything that we did, which again is part of the process. So did it make it better? Did it make it worse? How does it look? I've got some paper towels. Let's get them out of this smelly concoction here and see what is happening. Okay. Got paper towels kind of sticking. Here's the pen. Lots of blues and little dots. Alright. SCKnifeMonkeys. Nice looking so far. Okay. And the last one, the Rough Rider. Boom. Boom. Okay, let's seal this back up, not pollute the room with the smells. Here they are. Now they don't look how they're going to look when they're finished. We have to clean these off, wipe them down, decide if we want to clear coat them or not. But check that out so you get a kind of a how it looks now, just fresh out of the mix. And then we'll let these dry off, wipe them down, and then decide if we want to clear coat them or what we want to do, if we want to put them back in or where we want to go from there. Okay, here we go. Boom, cleaned up, finished. Another shipwreck in the books. Let's take a look at our final results. Here is my little Rough Rider. I did wash these off and just threw a quick clear coat on there. Done. Check it out. What do we think of the finished product here? This is a fun little Rough Rider RR2004. These are inexpensive little lockbacks, but they're great. The brass, good little piece to use to kind of test out with the shipwreck. Turned out good. Here is SCKnifeMonkey's Unknown Blade, Pakistan. A lot of blue on this side and then a nice little splotchy marbling on there. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll send him some pics, see what he thinks, if you want me to change it all or just leave it as is. I think it looks pretty cool. The neat thing about the shipwreck is you just never know. This side really got a lot of that blue. This side got some more of the splotchy blacks and stuff. It's just a fun variety. You never know what you're going to get. Oop, bumping the camera. Here's the pen. You almost can't see the lid. I screwed them together so it lined up when I did it. I did take this off so that it would not mess up the threads at all, but I don't mind that the inside is brass like that. This is just a fun twist off pen. What do we think of the finished product on it though? Nice variety on there. Cool stuff. Alright, so shipwreck number whatever in the books. I will get that one back to SCKnifeMonkey. Probably save this one, the pen, for a giveaway or something in the future. Anyone interested? If you have something you'd like to get shipwrecked and you need some advice, get a hold of me. I can walk you through it. You can watch some of the videos. I'll make a playlist of them and put a link down there. Or if you just want, you can just mail it to me like SCKnifeMonkey did. I can do a quick shipwreck on there and send it back to you. Let me know what you think. I love this process. It's really fun. How many shipwrecks have you done? Any advice you have? What success or failures have you experienced? Comment below. Let's talk about it. Everything shipwrecks. More of these to come in the future. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.